Honorable delegates, welcome to the special session of the High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development. Our topic for today is accelerating the global transition to a green economy amid diverging national interests. We begin with opening statements. Each delegation will have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Distinguished delegates, Indonesia is already living the consequences of climate change. As an island nation, we face rising seas, erratic weather, and frequent disaster. More than 2,000 islands could vanish. Coastal families are being displaced. Fishermen catch less. Crops fails. This is not theoretical. It is happening now. Indonesia calls on developed countries to deliver stronger climate finance, enable technology transfer, and recognize blue carbon ecosystem like mangrove and peatlands, a vital climate tools. Let us co-create a green economy that uplifts all, not one that imposes one-size-fits-all models. For countries like ours, fairness is not a luxury, it is a necessity.
Honorable Chair, esteemed delegates, the European Union speaks today with both urgency and resolve. Climate change is no longer an environmental issue alone. It threatens lives, livelihoods, and global stability. Europe has faced wildfires, floods, and severe droughts. These are not isolated events. They signal a dangerous trend. Delay only deepens the damage. But cooperation must include accountability. It is acceptable to demand green trade benefits while subsidizing fossil fuels. The European Union proposes a global climate accountability mechanism to track and enforce real progress. Differentiated responsibilities remain, but measurable action must come from all.
Colleagues, we welcome this dialogue with the cooperation and clarity. Saudi Arabia rejects the idea that we obstruct climate progress. Our Vision 2030 reform are rooted in the sustainability and diversification. We are investing in solar energy, green hydrogen, and the world's largest carbon capture projects. Initiatives like NEOM and the Line embody sustainable urban design at a scale. But we must be realistic. Our steel power a third of the global economy. We support a diversified path, advancing renewable while optimizing fossil energy through the carbon capture select and the direct air capture. We also propose an inclusive international framework for carbon market, covering all the technology and the energy sources. Let us move beyond the false choice of the green versus fossil or the north versus south. True climate action must be multidimensional, technologically open, and economically balanced.
Fellow delegates, the United States reaffirms its leadership in global climate action. Through the Inflation Reduction Act, we have committed over $369 billion toward clean energy, electric vehicles, efficiency, and environmental justice. This is more than a policy. It is a transformative roadmap for decarbonizing the world's largest economy. Globally, we support climate diplomacy built on trust. We champion technology partnerships, green infrastructure, and open data sharing. The US believes every nation brings unique strengths. Let us build a future driven but not by rivalry, but by cooperation.
Respected colleagues, China sees the green economy not as a burden, but as a catalyst for a new era of development. We are the world's largest producer of renewable energy, and our solar industry has lowered global costs, benefiting many developing nations. Our electric vehicle revolution is reshaping mobility, driven by strong policy and industrial coordination. China proposes a development-centered transition, prioritizing energy access, food security, and climate resilience. We support South-South cooperation through training, technology sharing, and consensual green loans. Let us build a future that is green but also fair. A future where sustainability uplifts, not divides humanity. Thank you, delegates. Your statements reflect the complexity of this transition. We now move to proposed solutions. Each delegation has 60 seconds to present one key policy or initiative that addresses a major barrier.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. One of the major barriers to green economy adoption is the mismatch between the pace of technological advancement and the scale of financial access. Many developing nations like access to venture capital, green bonds, and climate resilient infrastructure funding. The US believes in a multilateral green technology acceleration fund that allows cross-border innovation hubs, connecting American clean tech with emerging markets. We also stress the need to remove trade tariffs on environmental goods and services, which disproportionately affect solar panels, batteries, and water purification systems.
The delegate of China believes that the root barrier lies in global inequality. Technology and finance alone are not enough if they are withheld behind patent walls and geopolitical tensions. China supports a global South climate partnership that includes data exchange, intellectual property waivers for green tech, and low-interest development loans. We must decouple climate responsibility from punitive trade actions and embrace true cooperation.
The European Union recognizes that political will, not technology, is the biggest roadblock. In many countries, entrenched fossil fuel interests exert undue influence over policy, delaying transition efforts. The European Union proposes an international anti-greenwashing task force that identifies and exposes false climate claims by corporations and governments. Furthermore, public awareness and democratic participation must be enhanced to ensure sustainable policy continuity.
Saudi Arabia emphasized that the transition cannot ignore energy security. Fossil fuel remain the integral of our economic and the geopolitical stability. Sudden green shift risks energy, price volatility, and blackouts. We propose a dual path model. While investing in green growth, nations must also secure for fossil efficiency. These include reducing the methane emission, adopting carbon capture and storage, and promoting hybrid fuel strategies in the transportation and heavy industry.
Indonesia faces real infrastructure and logistical challenges. With over 17,000 islands, centralized planning is often inefficient. Informal labor and regional gaps also make it harder to grow green jobs. That's why we call for global partnership to build local green microgrids, support ecotourism, and expand skill training. We seek not just funding, but collaboration. Solutions make for tropical islands nations like ours.
Thank you, delegates. We will now move to the next section, unmoderated caucus. Delegates may now engage in informal dialogue to draft a working paper addressing these barriers.
Thank you, Chair. Delegates, the United States believes access to clean technology must be scaled globally. Our Green Technology Acceleration Fund aims to connect innovation with those who need it most. But equity and inclusion must be the core. How can we ensure that it isn't just charity, but true partnership?
China agrees, finance alone won't solve inequity. Much of today's green technology is locked behind intellectual property restrictions. We propose flexible licensing and open source frameworks, especially for the global south. Solutions must be shareable, not commercialized to death.
Colleagues, while we discuss access, let us do not ignore the energy stability. A rapid shift away from fossil fuels without a proper transition could disrupt economics. Saudi Arabia supports a dual path strategy, investing in the renewable, yes, but also in the technologies like carbon capture to make existing system cleaner.
The European Union respects the need for balance, but insists that transparency must guide all efforts. We support structured intellectual property sharing as long as it's verifiable. We also propose an international mechanism to monitor both climate flow and emission reduction claims to prevent greenwashing.
Indonesia echoes the call of fairness and flexibility. As an archipelago, our barrier is not just technology, it's geography. We need support for decentralized renewable system and blue carbon ecosystem. Let us co-design solutions for places like ours, not impose global models that don't fit.
Indonesia raises a vital point. The United States support allocating parts of the fund specifically for island and rural innovation.
And China stands ready to provide training and shared research so these solutions are not only instilled, but maintained by local hands.
Let us ensure that the green economy uplifts all without risking energy access for the most vulnerable. Dual path solution must be part of our working paper.
Distinguished delegates, thank you for your thoughtful contributions during the unmoderated caucus. The range of ideas spanning green finance, decentralized infrastructure, energy security, intellectual property reform, and climate accountability reflects the rich diversity of perspectives in this forum. Our time for open discussion has concluded. We now move into the final stage of this session, which is closing statements. Before we conclude, I invite each delegation to summarize their core positions, reflect on the dialogue that has taken place, and articulate their vision for moving forward. Let us remember that the solution we seek today must transcend borders, ideologies, and economic divides. The floor is now open for closing remarks.
Honorable delegates, Indonesia reaffirms that the path to a green economy must be inclusive, just, and grounded in the local realities. As an archipelagic nation on the front line of climate change, we do not have the luxury of delay. We urge the international community to support decentralized and content-specific approaches, especially for vulnerable island states. Let us move forward not only with ambition, but with empathy, co-creating a future that belongs to all, not detected by a few.
Distinguished delegates, the European Union believes that the green transition is not merely an environmental imperative. It is a task of global solidarity and truthfulness. We must ensure that our commitments are not hollow, our targets not performative. Through accountability, transparency, and the dismantling of greenwashing, we can foster real progress. The European Union remains committed to leading by example, but we call upon every nation to walk the talk. Let us make the green economy a symbol of shared trust, not selective ambition.
Esteemed colleagues, Saudi Arabia stresses that sustainability must go hand in hand with stability. We support that the transition to a greener future, but it must be approached pragmatically. By embracing a dual-path strategy, balancing energy security with the investment in innovation, we can ensure that no nation is left behind in the process. Let us not turn to the transition into a zero-sum game. Instead, let us pursue a climate agenda that is technologically open, economically balanced, and respectful of diverse national contexts.
Fellow delegates, the United States believe that innovation, inclusion, and investment are the pillars of a successful green economy. Our vision is not one of domination, but of partnership. Through initiatives like the Green Technology Acceleration Fund, we seek to close the gap between potential and implementation. But this vision only works if trust and fairness guide our efforts. Let us move forward not just with technologies, but with shared purpose, building a greener world together.
Respected delegates, China remains steadfast in its belief that the green economy must be rooted in fairness and development. The transition ahead is not just a matter of emission targets. It is about transforming global systems in a way that uplifts all. We must tear down barriers that divide us, be it intellectual property, trade sanctions, or geopolitical posturing. By prioritizing South-South cooperation and equity-centered innovation, we can build a sustainability future that is not only green, but just and shared by all humanity.
Thank you, distinguished delegates, for your thoughtful and constructive dialogue. Today's discussion has shed light on the many layers of the green economic transition, from technology and finance to justice, accountability, and energy security. While each nation faces unique challenges, what unites us is a shared commitment to a more sustainable and equitable future. The drafting of our working paper shall now begin, rooted in the diverse yet complementary perspectives we've heard. Let us continue this momentum and ensure that our solutions are not only visionary, but actionable for every corner of the world.